Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the energy and the numerology for April 2021. First, I'll break down the numerology for April, and then I will dive into the energy forecast for your particular life path number. These are general readings. If you're interested in a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so April 2021 is a 9 universal cycle. We haven't had one of these cycles in a while, so it's going to definitely be something we've been looking forward to, I think. We'll definitely be reaping some of the rewards that this energy can bring in. So 9 energy can bring about the closure or ending of a significant cycle within your life. So if there's an area within your life where you can feel things coming to a close, this may occur for you in April. Oftentimes, when this 9 energy comes around, we usually see endings or closure or things coming to fruition around things that we've been working on for quite some time. It can be around a relationship. It can be around maybe some kind of health concern that you've had or something that you've kind of been working on to do with your body or the way you present yourself. It can have to do with work projects, creative projects. I mean, really just anything that again, is just something you've been working on for quite some time or been dealing with for some time, or it's been, again, kind of coming up for quite some time. This can be coming to an end, to some kind of closure or fruition where you'll see things tying up very nicely. Sometimes they can end a little bit chaotically, a little bit abruptly. So it's not always necessarily tied up with a lovely bow, but a lot of times it is. It's something that we've been putting in a lot of effort in towards, we've been showing up for. It's something that's been on our plate to handle or deal with or overcome. And it's kind of like the universe is like, well done. It's kind of like graduating in a sense, where the universe is like, well done. You've done the work. Now here's the reward, and it's time for this to complete or come to closure. So oftentimes this closure, whatever it is, creates this beautiful space for a grand new beginning. And I want to make sure that you understood I said grand, including a brand new beginning, but a grand new beginning. This is creating the space for something big, something divinely timed. It's that cosmic, okay? So you may see gifts or rewards come your way at the closure of this cycle, whatever that is for you, because of the work and the growth that you've dedicated yourself to. Be open to receiving these much deserved gifts. You are worthy. And a lot of times it can be where that closure takes place, and it might feel like a loss or something that we need to grieve. And that's okay, because a lot of times, like I said, these are things that we've been energetically invested in. We've invested resources and time and whatever. We've just really been invested in whatever this is. And so when that comes to a close, sometimes there can be grief associated with that. And of course, we want to honor that. And we might not be able to fully recognize or see those gifts as they present themselves, but that's okay. The gifts will still come. And when we are ready, we'll be able to see them and then put them to use. So if you've put in the work, you've put in the effort, you've continued to show up, you've done, you've exhausted everything that you need to exhaust around whatever this life lesson is, around whatever this growth or expansion opportunity is, you will see some kind of reward from the universe. You will see some kind of gift come in. Even if you don't recognize it right away, you will be able to recognize it in hindsight, and then you'll be able to use that gift in your forward movement, in your propelling you forward in a beautiful way. So again, this energy is allowing things to tie up and close so that it can create that grand space for a beautiful new beginning. And with that ending will come those rewards, okay? 9 energy is that of the humanitarian. So during this time, during this cycle, you may feel called to find ways where you can be of greater service to those in need and how you can dedicate your efforts towards creating a better world to live in. This is beautiful energy and a great time to ask yourself whether your actions, your current actions, contribute to the harmony, balance, and good of all. Or do your actions focus more on the needs and the desires of only those whom you deem worthy? The energy of the 9 is vast, okay? It's expansive. It's without limits. So allow it to permeate your way of thinking to become much more open-minded, generous, and idealistic as opposed to being more cynical. Do something for another during this time in a state of gratitude for the blessings that you have received throughout your life. This is a great cycle to pay it forward, to, purchase the coffee for someone behind you in line, or the meal for somebody across the restaurant, whatever, or pay somebody's bill, or whatever the case may be, whatever speaks to you. But this is beautiful, beautiful energy of paying it forward, of creating that beautiful karma, or paying off those karmic debts. 9 cycles can be great for opening up to deeper innate gifts, including psychic abilities, intuitiveness, and vivid dream space. So this is going to be a time where you really want to pay close attention to your dreamscapes, to whatever comes in for you during dream time, during daydreams and night dreams. That's going to be the case always, but it is especially going to be true throughout April. So pay attention to those dreams that come in, write them down, try to work with them the best that you can. I do offer Dreamwork, so if that's something that you're interested in exploring further, I would love to work with you to pull those beautiful messages that are trying to come through for you so that you can work with them as you create this new beginning. During this cycle, creative powers, during this 9 vibration can be used to develop your artistic abilities that can be put to great use in the upcoming 1 cycle. So pay attention to any of those inspirations that come into you. They can, again, come in through dreams. They can come in through somebody saying something to you, or maybe you get a thought or an idea that comes in. This is a great time to get messy and play and be creative. And, you don't necessarily need to start whatever this new idea is, whatever this new goal is. This is going to be, again, a time for playing around and figuring out how you want to start that process. Because really, this is going to be the time or the energy around closure, completion, endings, things coming to fruition so that you can create that space for those grand new beginnings. And those new beginnings, a beautiful time to start those new beginnings is during a 1 cycle, which will be in May. So this is going to be a time for, really fostering that growth of those creative ideas, your creative talents, exploring your creative talents, see what speaks to you, what brings out your passion, and use that energy to sort of become the expert or to perfect some of those skills, right? Or to really flex that muscle so that when that 1 cycle comes in, that energy around that universal 1, when that comes in May, you're ready to hit the ground running, okay? You're ready for those big new adventures, those big new starts, okay? So beautiful, beautiful energy in April. Definitely, again, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to those things that are ending. And if you need to grieve that ending, then do so. Understand, though, that you, in allowing these endings to take place or to make space from these endings, you're creating an opportunity for something much more aligned, much more fruitful and bountiful to come your way. So it's really, really positive. It's really fantastic energy to work with. I'm really excited for April. Okay, 11 twos. 11s, make sure that you watch your or listen to the reading for the twos, because that, of course, is your life path number. The 11 energy is an extension of that, and so you may see influences of both of the readings come into play. Okay, so I pulled an animal spirit card for you all, and you got gorilla spirit. And gorilla, who is this big, mighty creature, right, says, take the time to listen compassionately to others. So I just want to repeat that again. Take the time to listen compassionately to others. So what really comes in around that is, it's not always about the brute strength, about the need to be right, about the person who has the loudest voice, the one who feels validated because the group agrees with them type thing. It's kind of like where a lot of strength and character come into play is being able to listen to others and really hear what they have to say without judgment and without trying to manipulate or influence their beliefs, their opinions, their ideas, but rather being the inspiration, which is so 11-2, to encourage others to use their voice, to share their ideas, to share their beliefs, their experiences, the wisdom that's entwined in that experience, without feeling like they're going to be shamed or judged or critiqued because those beliefs, those experiences differ from yours, okay? And so there's just this message around, if there is someone or a group of people who you have felt it necessary to sort of dominate the conversation because you feel you feel validated in your truth, I guess, there's just this call to calm that down a little bit and find a way to still, stand strong in your own convictions and your own truth. Nobody's asking you to change those, but what it comes down to is where the energy sort of plummets is when we try to manipulate or influence another's beliefs or truths to accommodate our own truths, if that makes sense, right? So if nobody's being harmed, and then it really comes down to allowing other people to have their own journey and their own experiences and their own truths, and to really take the time to compassionately, right, without a vendetta, without a means to an end type thing of listening. Like, you're not listening to respond, let's put it that way, but you're really just listening, hearing what they have to say, and showing up in that space. Okay, so if you can do that, I think that you'll see that you attract more bees with honey, even those bees that don't agree with you. But that doesn't mean that you can't all work together to come to a solution, to come to see eye to eye. Okay, so again, if there's somebody or or a group of people where there's been conflict over ideas, or somebody is feeling not heard, this is your opportunity to really embrace that, which is so 2 energy, right? And really, because 11 is an elevated octave of that 2, this is aligned with your energy, with your core, right? When you're in alignment, you are that peacekeeper. You are the one that brings people together and hears all sides without judgment, without condemnation. You are the one who is going to help people to share their ideas, to come up with something new and different that works for all. Okay, so I think Gorilla is very, very wise. And if you're finding yourself in a situation where that's not the case, that you're not really embodying that energy, then this, I think, is going to be a month where you're going to have an opportunity to do that. So, and I can actually see that playing out at the very beginning of the month. So the very first week of April, we have this energy around conflict, or again, that sort of, I'm really kind of seeing like conflict around money. And it just feels like somebody like hoarding their money, or somebody needing help. And this kind of feels like your money. It could be like you coming up against somebody where you need help, you need money, you need some kind of resource, and the other person is denying you that, but it's not because they can't assist you, it's because there's some kind of like power trip going on, is really what it feels like. It's kind of like, I'm really getting this sense of like a power trip. And so, but if it's your energy and it's more like, okay, I need to purchase whatever, but there's fear around doing that. Like there's like this money thing coming up where it's kind of like fear of lack, or fear of dipping into your resources, for fear of not having enough in the future and kind of not living in the moment. There's just this energy of conflict, and like, it's kind of like when it comes to money, you or this other person feel like you have all the answers, and you're having the final say, or the other person is having the final say. It's kind of like you control the purse strings, or the other person controls the purse strings, and they're not listening to what you are asking for or have to say, or they're not giving you a voice in the circumstances, even though technically you should have a voice. Again, it's kind of like this power trip mentality where it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, it's kind of like, let's say that it's the other person that's sort of holding the purse bag at this point, right? And you're going to that person. Let's say that it's actually your money and you need access to it, and you go to that person, but they're on a power trip and they're going to make you jump through hoops to get it so that they can feel high and mighty, if that makes sense. And it can be like even like a bank or something like that. It just has this energy where it's like you sort of standing up for what you need and what's rightfully yours, but doing it in a way where you're not participating in the game. You know what I mean? Where it's like you're coming to the table at a higher octave than what they're coming at the table with, if that makes sense. And you may not be able to work things out with this person, and it may be one of those situations where you just have to take the higher road and make peace with the situation, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm just getting this conflict around money is really what's coming in. But it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you can choose to participate in that lower octave, and that's not going to get you anywhere. Or you can choose to rise above that and find a solution that is a higher octave, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like you still have a choice here. The higher road may not be the easiest road to climb, but I'm definitely getting the sense that it's like if you can do that, then you'll be rewarded for that in a sense. So it's like, yeah, I know that's kind of all over the place, but I'm definitely getting this conflict around resources or money. You can either come to the battle and try to fight, or you can rise above it and find a better way. And so, or a better solution. So, and you'll know whatever that is when the time comes for you. So as we move into the second week, it's interesting because it's kind of like now you have like this like really strong green light to move forward, and it's really cause for celebration. So if there's something where it's like, again, you've kind of felt like stop and go, I feel like you're getting like the green light from the universe, and you've got maybe some new ideas coming in, I don't know, like vacation just came into, like maybe some travel. For some of you, maybe travel is opening up and you're able to do some traveling or something like that. But I'm just getting the sense of like celebration. It's also could be around home. So for some of you, you might find out that, or maybe you're going to try to have a baby or something like that, or you find out that you're pregnant, or you are going to move forward in doing something with your home. And your home can also be like your physical body. Obviously, that is the home to your soul at this particular time. So something to do with the home and moving forward through inspired action. Okay. But again, that can also be like traveling somewhere that feels like home, right? Like maybe somewhere you've been before, or just doing something with your family, like traveling with your family, which is kind of cause for celebration as well at this point in time. So anyway, however that comes up for you, but definitely very positive, forward-moving energy. It's like you get the green light to do something that you've been wanting to do for a while and that feels really good. So I love this energy for you all. Then we move into the third week, and it's like that celebration continues. It's kind of like this feels emotionally fulfilling, but also financially rewarding. So this could be like you being able to collaborate with somebody or someone on something that feels really good, that could have a financial could create a financial windfall for you in the future. It does feel, like I said, money driven, or like resources driven, but then also it's like working with people that you like. So it's like you see eye to eye with these people, you feel like you have a common mission or a common goal with these people. You're definitely seeing eye to eye. There's going to be sort of like a big idea that comes in maybe, and that you're all kind of want to work together to achieve whatever this is. And it could just be like working with friends on something that's started off as like a hobby, and then all of a sudden it like blows up, right? Like it's something that turns out to be really financially rewarding. So not sure what that might be, but it's also, this is a great time in this 9 energy for new ideas coming in that you would potentially want to take a giant leap of faith and start in the following months to come. So you may see something big come in for you at this time that gives you some really big inspiration. So pay attention to that. Then we move into, but let me just say, it does feel like you're collaborating with others. This doesn't feel like a solo mission. This feels like something where it's like you're definitely working with others, or I was going to say getting the advice of others, but this really feels like collaboration. And then there's cause to celebrate at some point around whatever this is. Then at the end of the month, it's interesting because it's like I'm getting like this sadness, or like this heartache or struggle energy. But what I'm also getting along with that is like a completion of that. So if there's a relationship that has been sort of difficult for you for some time, I almost see like one of you giving the other an olive branch, right? To really solidify the peace between the two of you, and to get off on a good foot. I see like this kind of like something that's been really emotionally challenging for you, that coming to completion. And however that comes to completion, whether it's like an ending or a coming together, it's something where it's like it's opening up a lot of new space for you, like a heart space, right? So it's kind of like, it feels good is basically what I'm trying to say. It's kind of like, if this is something that comes to an end, then it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, I've known this needed to come for an end, to an end for a while, and it's like it's almost like it sort of fizzles out, or just completes on its own without like a lot of drama or animosity or any of those things. But I'm also getting this sense of like, I just see someone giving somebody else like an olive branch, like a peace, like some kind of peace treaty, right? Where it's like, okay, let's make amends here, and let's work on building our relationship back to where it was, but better, right? And so a more open, more communication. And this is where girl love spirit might come in too, with that, take the time to listen compassionately to others. There might be a situation here where, because it takes two, right, to tango. So it could be that where your lines of communication on either side were closed, and it's just going to be a call for you to be able to meet that person with an open channel of being able to say, let's talk, and I'm going to actually listen to what you have to say without the need to respond. You know what I mean? Like without just waiting for you to finish your sentence so that I can put in my 2 cents. I really want to hear what you have to say about this, and really take that to heart, right? Like really process that and integrate that and try to understand that before you make some kind of response, right? Like, Anyway, I'm just seeing like a completion of something that's been really difficult for you for quite some time. So, however that completion occurs, but it feels good. It feels like something where it's like you're both kind of glad that it's sort of come to whatever this is, okay? So this isn't something where I'm seeing like a new heartbreak or a new devastating act, something like that occurring. I just see it like a completion of something where it's kind of like if there was karma there, that debt is now paid off type thing. So that's actually a really beautiful energy, and that will open up the space for you to be able to move forward in a much lighter, healthier way. So okay, 11s, I hope it's a beautiful April for you all. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.